Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Hope you all are happy and healthy at your home. So let's focus on your subject home science. This video is the second part of chapter 5, that is food processing and technology, of your unit 2 food science and technology. Its first part I shared earlier. If you don't watch that one till date, then please check it on my channel. Just take a recap what you learned in previous video. In previous video, you understand about the food processing and technology, its significance, its basic concept and few basic terms like food science, food processing, food technology and food manufacturing, development of food processing and technology, and importance of food processing and technology. Now, what you are going to learn in this video. So topic to be covered in this video is classification of food based on perishability or shelf life of the food product itself, food deterioration or food spoilage, food processing method to prevent food from spoilage, factors affecting the growth of microorganisms, principle of food preservation and methods of food preservation, classification of processed food on the basis of extent and type of processing, knowledge and skills needed for food processing and technology, knowledge and skills needed for food processing and technology, preparing for a career, scope and career avenues. What is shelf life? Every food is in previous video. You understand about the processing of food. So many food processing operations are designed to, why? Do you know? No. Many food processing operations are designed to extend the shelf life of the food product. The concepts of food processing is associated to reducing or eliminating all that activities, like either microbial activities or other factors which are responsible to spoil the food. So term shelf life. What is shelf life? I use the term here, shelf life. Food processing is designed to extend the shelf life of food product. What is shelf life? Shelf life is the length of a time food can be kept under stated storage, any storage conditions, while maintaining its optimum safety and quality. Means food is maintained in its quality and safety point of view. So any food have their shelf life. Shelf life means how much a food can at the same nature, at the same taste, at normal room temperature. Shelf life is a food begins from the time food is manufactured and is dependent on many factors. That is, its manufacturing process, type of packaging, storage condition and ingredients. Now, classification of food on its perishability or shelf life. how much is perishable or what is its shelf life. There is three types of food according to their perishability or shelf life. That is perishable, semi-perishable and non-perishable. Let's understand what is perishable food. Perishable food are those which life is stayed only few hours or 1 to 2 days, maximum 2 days at room temperature. Okay. What is the example? So many examples are there. You can see in your daily life, like milk and milk products, meat, fish, poultry, some fruits, some green leafy vegetables, or cooked food is also perishable, which can spoil after some time at room temperature. These foods are kept under refrigeration at household as well as on commercial level, so that its shelf life can extend it for further few days or few hours. In general, the most perishable foods contain a high level of moisture content in that. Okay. Another type of food is semi-perishable food. Semi-perishable food are those which can stay couple of the week without any spoilage or any sign of spoilage in that. Examples of that is some fruits like pomegranate, some vegetables like potato, even some citrus fruits, amla, apples, pumpkin, roots and tubers, yams, potatoes, onions, garlic, all come in this category, that is semi-perishable category. Another is non-perishable food items. As its name indicate, its life is month or year without spoiling unless handled and stored carelessly. If you handled it properly, then you can store it for a long time, month or year. But if you are careless in storing them or handling them, then it can be spoiled. Examples are some canned food, whole cereal, pulses, millets, grain, oilseed, nuts, fats, oils, honey, sugar, jaggery, salt, and some type of spices. So it is clear there is three type of food according to their shelf life: perishable, semi-perishable and non-perishable. Now, what is food deterioration or food spoilage? Because all the food processing is done to save the food product from spoilage. So food deterioration is associated with spoilage, development of flavors, deterioration of textures, discoloration and loss of nutritional value in varying degree, reducing the aesthetic appeal and rendering it unfit, unsafe for consumption. So spoiled food is not good for consuming, not good for consumption. So why foods are deteriorated? Why spoilage occurs? So let's take a look on the causes of food spoilage. There's two type of factor: intrinsic and extrinsic. Means some natural factors are responsible and some external factors are responsible to spoil the food. Natural factors are enzymatic reaction and chemical reaction. What is enzymatic reaction? There is some enzymes present in food which can start degrading the food, resulting into the spoilage of food. For example, you can see when you eat fruits like apple, banana, after cutting, you can see this browning in apples, some brown or black in banana. So this is their enzymatic reaction, what enzyme present in them that react and food is spoiled. Another is chemical reaction. There is some chemical reaction takes place within food which leads to the spoilage. For example, cut meat and kept it for long time, then it is spoiled due to its chemical reaction. Some intrinsic factors are there. External factor, that is mechanical damage, any physical damages due to improper handling. For example, if food is handled improperly while plucking, transporting, drying, preserving, etc., then it may cause some spoilage in food. It can break the tissue and it is spoiled. Then chemical reaction due to contact with metal. Many times you listen from your mother that don't put curd or lemon in any brass utensil. Why? Because it is reacted. This is the metal, milk, curd is reacted by brass. So chemical reaction, when it food come with contact with any metal, then foods of acidic or alkaline nature can react with that metal. For example, buttermilk kept in brass vessel, it deteriorated or spoiled. Then another is microorganism. Some microorganisms are also responsible for spoiling the food. Growth and multiplication of microorganisms lead to food spoilage like yeast, bacteria, etc. Contaminated the food which caused food poisoning. When you kept wheat dough for few hours outside, not in fridge, outside at room temperature, there is some microbial reaction occur. Microorganism develop like yeast and it doesn't get a good taste, good smell. So your dough is spoiled. Clear? Next factor which is another cause of food spoilage is insect, rodents and birds. Foods are mechanically damaged by insect, rodents, birds, etc. How? The whole of the surface of tomato, cucumber, brinjal indicates that they are harboring larvae of insect. You can see there is there may be hole on brinjal, maximum time in brinjal or in cucumber. So it indicates there is a larva or of any insect. So it is clear why food is deteriorated. Next is factors affecting growth of microorganisms. How food is spoiled? Food is spoiled due to microorganisms. So what factors are responsible for growth of microorganisms? There is few factors, that is nutrients in food. Presence of easily utilizable nutrients encourage faster growth of microorganisms. For example, bacteria prefer protein-rich food. Protein-rich food to develop, like meat, fish, poultry, eggs, dairy products. They are also known as a high-risk food. So nutrients is responsible for deterioration or for growth of microorganism. Another factor is water content. Water content, microorganisms require a lot of water for their growth. So the fruits or vegetables or any other food material which have more water content are susceptible to development of microorganisms. Availability of oxygen. Most of microorganisms require oxygen to grow. Such microorganisms are called aerobic microorganisms which need oxygen for their growth. So when oxygen is present in food, then microorganism can develop easily. Another is anaerobic microorganism, that organism which do not need oxygen for their growth, that is called anaerobic microorganism. Another factor which is responsible for development of microorganism or growth of microorganism, that is physical and environment factor like temperature and pH value of the food. Both are responsible for microbial growth in food items. Food processing methods to prevent food spoilage. There are some methods which prevent food from spoilage. What are the methods? Many food processing operations are designed to extend the shelf life of the food product, as I told you earlier. So there are some factors which influence the food spoilage. The principal microorganisms that cause food spoilage are bacteria, fungi, yeast, and molds. So there are few processing methods that prevent the food from spoilage, that is application of heat, removal of water or moisture, lowering temperature during storage, reduction of pH, and controlling the availability of operation. It means what factors affect the growth of microorganism. If we control that factors, then the growth of microorganism cannot be possible. Like if we apply heat, then few microbial activity stopped in that food product and food can be safe for few more hours, few more days. Same as when we remove the water content from food product, then it cannot be destroyed because microorganism growth cannot be occur there. If we lower the temperature, we can store them like we do at our home. We can store in fridge, then its life increase itself. Reducing pH may increase the shelf life of food product and control the availability of oxygen. Then microorganism growth can be inhibited. There are some principles for preservation of food. So let's take a look the principle of food preservation. First principle is preventing the spoilage by microorganisms. Prevent the food from growth of microorganisms. Keeping out microorganisms, for example, covering the food packaging or removing the spoiled food, can preserve the food for long time. Another is removing microorganisms. If you want to preserve green leafy vegetable, you have to remove water from the leaves. You dried it in sunlight, you preserve them for long time. Like kasuri methi is dried in sunlight and you can use it 1 year, at least 1 year, 6 months. Okay. Then inhibiting the growth of microorganisms, example drying, lowering or increasing temperature. Adding too much of sugar or other preservative, some natural preservative can be added like salt and sugar. It can inhibit the growth of microorganisms. Another principle is killing of microorganisms by boiling, cooking or pasteurization. I told you about the pasteurization process in my last video. You can boil the food product like you boil milk two times a day or 3 times a day. You can extend its shelf life. Or by removal of insect, rodents, birds, etc. you can save your food. So it is a principle of food preservation that remove the insect, rodent and birds by proper storage, use of permissible insect repellents. Last principle of the food preservation is preventing self-decomposition of food. How? By destroying the enzymes in food. Enzymes found in the food can be inactivated by changing their texture, their structure. So these are the principles of food preservation. Now just take a look on the methods of food preservation. There are so many methods. Few methods I explained you in my last video, that is traditional method of preserving food, and maximum of people preserve by those method like pickling, making papad, murabba, juices, squashes and all. So due to the advancement in technique, there are so many developed methods for preserving the food. So just take a look. First is keeping out microorganisms. How? Cleanliness, use of clean water, utensil, properly covering, proper packaging can keeping out the microorganisms. Use of temperature. We can preserve food by the use of temperature, means application of heat, heating, boiling, cooking, pasteurization, or this is the type of high heat. 2 type of temperature we can use to preserve the food, in high temperature and low temperature. In high temperature means applying the heat, boiling, cooking, pasteurizing, and use of low temperature. In lower temperature we can save the food, preserve the food for a long time. Another method is refrigeration. Refrigeration means stored food at 4 degree to 7 degree centigrade. Further, it is 2 type of storage is there, cold storage and freezing. Cold storage is the storage of food products at between the 1 degree centigrade to 4 degree centigrade. Another method is freezing, that is minus 18 degree or below. Freeze the food below minus 18 degree. Refrigeration is a process which we can take, which we do at our home. Next is drying. Drying means removal of moisture. Dry fruit grains remain unspoiled for long period under proper storage. This is done by sun drying or dehydration. Means you can dry it in sun or on a machine, and dehydrating machine, which can reduce the moisture content from that food product, and it is safe or preserved for a long time. Reduction of pH. We can reduce the pH of any food product or alkalinity in food product, like when we use vinegar. Maximum of you used vinegar or your mother used vinegar to preserve pickles. So we can reduce the pH of that product. Next is controlling availability of oxygen by canning, use of oil, salt and sugar. Another is use of preservatives. There are two types of preservative, natural and chemical. Natural preservative, which we use at your home, like salt, sugar, vinegar, acid salts, etc. And there are some chemical preservative, sodium chloride, sodium benzoate, citric acid, etc. So you can preserve the food by using preservative. Natural preservative is safe, but chemical preservative is unsafe. Next is preserving by irradiation. Ionizing radiation such as gamma rays and cathode rays. Two types of rays is used to irradiate the food, gamma rays or cathode rays. Both rays kill the microorganism in the food product, and food is preserved for long time. So these are the methods of preserving food. I hope you understand the methods of preservation of food. Now come on next topic. That is classification of processed food on the basis of extent and type of processing. There are some type of processing done. So classification of food by their processing method. There are 7 types of foods according to their processing method. So let's take a look. First is minimally processed food. As name indicated, these are processed as little as possible. Kam se kam. Clear? As little as possible it is processed to retain the quality of fresh food. Generally, the process used are cleaning, trimming, selling, cutting, slicing and storage at low, that is refrigeration temperatures. Clear? Like you can see here, some green leafy vegetables, some sliced food items. It is minimally processed to extend its shelf life. Then preserved food. Preserved food, the method of preservation used to not change the character of the product substantially. For example, frozen peas and frozen vegetable. These are the preserved food. There is no change in their structure. Dehydrated peas, dehydrated vegetable, canned fruits and vegetables are example of preserved food. Next, manufactured food. In such products, the original characteristics of raw material are lost. Clear? Original characteristic of that food products are lost. Some basic method of preservation are used there, often using various ingredients such as salt, sugar, oil, or even some chemical preservative are used. For example, pickles, jams, papad, squash, etc. Chips. Clear? Next one is formulated food. Prepared by mixing and processing of individual ingredient to result in relatively shelf-life. Food products such as bread, biscuit, jam, squashes, papad, for example, ice cream, cake, biscuit, kulfi. These are the formulated food which is prepared by mixing and processing of individual ingredients. Clear? Next is food derivatives. Food derivatives. In industry, components of food may be obtained from the raw product through purification. For example, sugar from sugarcane. Clear? Or some oil seeds. Conversion of oil seed to vanaspati ghee. These are the food derivative items which is obtained from raw product through purification of that food. Clear? Next one is functional food. Functional food that can have a beneficial effect on human health. For example, probiotic food item like Yakult. This is most commonly used probiotic product nowadays. Another one is medical food. Medical food are used in dietary management of diseases. It is prepared to control or management of any diseases. For example, low sodium salt for high BP patient, or lactose free milk for those persons who have lactose intolerance. So there are 7 types of food division on their basis of extent and type of processing. So when we are talking about the professionalism in food processing and technology industry, job opportunities, career opportunities, then any professional who are involved in food processing and technology need to have a wide range of knowledge and skills, which is characterized in 3 stages: recipe development, food as a material, and food product development. These are 3 categories which required for the development for the professional who want to go in food processing and technology units. So what knowledge and skills needed for food processing and technology? That is knowledge of food science, food microbiology, food processing, food safety, quality assurance, manufacturing practices, and nutrition. Another one is analysis of raw and cooked or manufactured food for consumption, quality, and safety. Knowledge of food ingredients, their uses in food preparation and food production on a large scale. Knowledge about food packaging or skills of food packaging and labeling, how to label a food. Some industrial practices, system control, distribution channels, consumer purchase pattern. They must have no product specification and product development is also required. Sensory evaluation and acceptability. The knowledge of sensory evaluation and acceptability of food is also required for the professional in food microbiology and technology. Except that ability to use information technology to support product design, skills in food preparation and cooking, carry out sensory evaluation, and ability to design, analyze, and adapt new recipes. Skills in preparation of cooking. Clear? So these are the knowledge and skills needed for a food processing and technology professional. Now, when you want food processing and technology as a career, you want your career in this industry, in food industry, so what qualification you have to have? That is, after completion of 10 plus 2, this is compulsory, or any equivalent degree means 10 plus 2 or any equivalent degree. Then there is two options. There is two options of job. That is job in food industry and for taking up research and training as well as entrepreneurship, and self-employment and for placement in a small scale unit. There are two divided options. If you want to take a job in food industry or you want to take any research in food processing and technology or food development, then you have a bachelor degree as well as a master's degree in food processing and development. And there are some research qualifications which you have for being a professional in food industry or any research process related to food technology and its development. If you want self-employed or you want your placement in small scale units, then after 10 plus 2 you can do short term courses or diploma courses at various institutes. There are so many institutes are there for carrying out this special short term diploma program or short term certificate program like CFTRI, that is Central Food Technological Research Institute, CFTRI. It is in Mysore. There are so many small term, short term courses for you, and there are so many other institutes which provide you short term courses or certificate courses or diploma in food processing and technology. So for preparing career in food processing and technology industry, you have these qualifications: 10 plus 2, then graduation or any diploma courses or in food technology or food research. Clear? Next one is, what is the scope of food processing and technology? There are vast area of food processing and technology, that is food industry, dairy confectionery, hotels and hospitals, quality control department is also there, labeling and packaging industries, soft drink industries, fish and meat processing industries, fruits and vegetable processing industries, rice and flour mills are there, and processing of grains and cereals and millets. So these are the scope. You can see a wide scope of food processing and technology. Now just take a look on career avenues. You can see there is a lot of career options for you. After you get a proper degree in food processing and technology or any diploma course in food processing and technology, you can become technical marketer of the products, production manager in food processing and technology department, project implementation, entrepreneurship development, marketing and sales personnel. You become a marketing personnel or sales personnel of that industry, sensory evaluator, quality assurance of food products. There are options for research and product development. If you want to do research and develop any food product, you can do it. Project financing and appraisal, and last but not the least, teaching, research and consultancy in food processing and technology. So there are a varied options for you for your career. If you want self-employment, if you want an entrepreneur in food processing and technology, Then government giving incentives and support for entrepreneurs who want to start their own enterprises by way of providing finance, training, infrastructure, and marketing facilities. Means if you want to be an entrepreneur, government will help you. Financial support is provided by many banks with encouragement of women entrepreneur. There is an option for women entrepreneur. Government support them. Small scale cottage industry of pickles, papad, roasted cereals, puffed cereals, fried snacks, etc. can be started. A very good example of this is Lizzat Papad. This Lizzat Papad is by a small scale industry by women. So for self-employment it is also good. That's all to your subject. Now there is some review question you can do. That is, explain the following. Why do we need the process and preserve? Do we need to process and preserve food? What causes food spoilage and renders it unfit for human consumption? Food spoilage is generally caused by bacteria. What are the 4 conditions that bacteria need to grow and multiply? Next question. What is done in food processing to extend shelf life? Next, as a food manufacturer, it is a legal requirement to label the product. List the advice and information that should be given to consumer on these labels. There are 5 or 6 main information a label should have. What? That is manufacturing company name, manufacturing date, expiry date, ingredients, company name, their logo, and MRP. These are some information any label must have. Clear? So you have to write these informations. Next one is, how is the information on nutritional value given on the label useful? And last, after the completion of 10+2 examination, what is the professional scope in the field of food processing and technology? I hope you like my video. So don't forget to like, share it with your friends and family members, and subscribe it, and don't forget to press the bell button. Thank you so much, and be ready for your next chapter. Thank you.